I will talk about or give the presentation about how to make a C program for the matrices. So based on the question given, write a program in C for multiplication of two matrices, 3 times 3. From the question itself, we can indicate that it is using two-dimensional array in the coding. And then he asks if that we get the expected output here. So the code that I managed to do is just like this. First, I'm sure that what integer I use in this coding. So because of that, I put integer I, j, and k, which is I and j represent the columns and the row, while k is the product of the multiplication of the first matrix and the second matrix. Next, I put integer a square bracket 3 square bracket 3, b square bracket 3 square bracket 3, and multiplication of square bracket 3 square bracket 3. Okay. The A represent the first metric, B is the second metric, mul is the product of multiplication of A and B. I input 3 because it contain 3 row and 3 columns, and the 2 square brackets means 2-dimensional array. Okay, just like usual, we need to show the title that can make the user know what they need to do, which is input the value. So first, I put the printf input elements in the first matrix. So the user will put the numbers that they want for their matrix. For I equal to 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus. This one indicate that the first element is K0. The first element is I'm start with 0 and then 1 and 2 to tell that there is 3 different value or 3 same value, depends on the user how much they want to put in one column, and j represent the row, and then just like I put that j equal to 0, j equal to 3, that indicate there is 3 elements there in j plus plus here. Okay, first of all, because this is the first matrix, I put that printf a percentage d and percentage d is equal to make sure that the code can analyze the value given, and scanf the percentage d and a square bracket I square bracket j, so that the the code can analyze and detect the value given by the user. Okay, that's done for the first input value for the first matrix. And then the second matrix, the technique use same with just like the first matrix, which is declare the title, which is I put here printf input elements in the second matrix, so the user can input their second numbers of the second matrix. The matrix is just like before, 3 times 3, so I equal to 0, I less than 3, and I plus plus, j equal to 0, j minus j less than 3, j plus plus. And then we can print f b percentage d equal to ij, scanf percentage d, and b ij. This is important to make sure that we not change or maybe have a simple mistake to put b and a, because in the first place we indicate that a is the first matrix and b is the second matrix, because sometimes people tend to make a mistake here. They put a and then the code cannot read it and given the false value. Okay, next, that's done for the second matrix. And then we can enter for the multiplication. For I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 3 and j plus plus. And then we can show that mul I and j equal to 0. For k equal to 0, k less than 3, k plus plus, which is k indicate the products of the matrix. And then we can enter the what we call as equation for the multiplication of the matrix. For the matrix, I choosing my square bracket I square bracket j is equal to my ij plus a square bracket I so square bracket k multiply or star b square bracket j square bracket k. And then the code will analyze and calculate the value for us. For the next step, we need to show the value we input for the first and second matrix in the matrix forms. Okay, so to make a reader or code easier to be read or to analyze, we need to put the title. The first matrix is what? And then just like before, I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j minus j less than 3, j plus plus. Printf percentage d for a, I, j means that it will print the value that we already put before for the first matrix. Because of that, we put a instead of b because a is for the first matrix. And then printf n to give the space or the difference between first and second matrix. The second matrix, just like the first matrix, before the technique uses I equal the title I put that the second matrix is what? Okay. And then for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. Printf percentage d. And we can see here the difference is I put b because b indicate the second matrix. And then print fn to give the space for the second and multiplication value. And lastly, last but not least, we need to put the title for multiplication of two matrix is the multiplication. Yeah, this is my title. The multiplication of two matrix is what I get for I equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 0, j less than 3, j plus plus. And then we need to print f the value that our code already calculate before. And then print fn to give more space and then return 0. And then the code is finished just like that. Okay, for sure the thing I get. Okay. Based on the question they ask, first 1, then second 2, 3, 0, 1, 0, -1, -5, 6. This the element for the first matrix and the second matrix. Second matrix, they ask for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 84, and -2. And we enter, and it will give the value in the matrices form. As you can see, the value I get and the value in the question is same, and so we will get the answer for the multiplication of two matrix is what? In this case, it will be 32, 15, 84, 5, 8, 84, 7, 7, and 82. Okay, just like that for the second question of tutorial 17 about the C program for the matrices 3 times 3. Okay, that's all from me. I hope that it helped and thank you.